What's going on, everybody? Mark Furze here for the Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement, DestinationRetirement.com. Here from the Steven Singer Studios. You know, folks, I would love to start the show by talking about Eagles training camp. I'd love to start the show by talking about Alec Bohm. But my job, and I take it very seriously, is to make sure that we open the show with the most amazing thing that happened the day before, whether that's something I can give an opinion on or that's some audio I can play for you if you're on the podcast, or if you're watching the best thing that happened the day before. And I'm going to tell you what that is right now, but I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to introduce Darius Slay for our first installment of this year's Sounds of Slay, ladies and gentlemen. You're right here. You're coming here. Oh!
Oh, it's me like, I'm doing my Usher song.
I'm rolling. Well, I mean, I'm live, so I don't know if they.
I'll start hating on me, man.
Wait, you like these?
I'm going to make that my ringtone. Is that working? Come on. Did Slade just break the show? No, did he? No, he's good. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, come on. Slay, come on. Just take it easy, buddy. That is going to be my ringtone for someone. I haven't picked it out yet, but in the rare occasion I actually have my ringer on my phone, that will be my ringtone for who calls me the most often. My wife, no. My mom, no. Yeah, maybe my mom. That's what I'll do. My mom, that'll be my mom's. There is no one in the world having more fun than Darius Slay. I'm telling you right now. That's the first day of camp. And let me just explain something to you, just to get it. Like, we're all excited at camp. All right, great. Baseball players really look forward to spring training. One of my favorite things in the world was watching a conversation between Hugh Douglas and the late, great John Marzano about spring training. And the thing that Hugh couldn't wrap his head around, because Hugh didn't grow up a baseball guy at all, was that John was like looking forward to spring training. Oh, spring training was the best. And John would be talking to other ball players that would call into the show, and John would be talking about, oh, this is great. You go to spring training, get ready for the season, the whole thing. And he was like thinking of two-a-days at Lehigh. And two-a-days at Lehigh are nowhere comparable to going down to Clearwater, Florida, taking a little batting practice, getting in the cage, getting your hacks in, and chopping it up behind the batting cage. You're leaning on the thing. Might as well be a hammock. You're talking to somebody. Yeah, well, you do the offseason, play a lot of golf. Oh, we're playing golf later today after this. Oh, you are? That's great. Like, the two totally different experiences, getting ready for football versus getting ready for baseball. And Darius Slay definitely has that spring training type of mindset where everything's just fun. And, man, he was already having the fun yesterday. That might make its appearance on the show even more a little bit later. But the good vibes have been installed to start the show, courtesy of Slay. Darius, Slay. Darius, question, Darius, Slay. Question, Darius, Slay, for the man that will only respond to Slay. The good vibes are out there. The good vibes started yesterday with that Nick Sirianni fella. Nick Sirianni came out wearing that Jalen Hurts t-shirt. And by the way, Geoff Mosher will be along in a minute just to talk about all things Eagles from Inside the Birds podcast, or as I like to refer to it, Inside the Birds Empire. Also part of the Buzz Sports and Entertainment family. But Nick Sirianni got the good vibes going yesterday when he and Howie Roseman addressed the media. I'll just get this out of the way. The one thing Howie said that really jumped out at me was I don't think I've ever looked at our roster on paper and been content. Zach Berman of The Athletic asked him a question about the safety position in particular, and Howie Roseman said about adding a safety potentially, and Howie said, looking at an entire roster, I don't think I've ever been content. So that just lets you know that Howie is always out there looking for that move. And one of the things I always take away, my biggest takeaway from speaking to Adam Schefter when I did every week, was the two things. Well, one was that he had makeout parties in fifth grade. That was one thing that definitely sticks out. He had makeout parties in fifth grade. The other thing that sticks out is that the Eagles with Howie Roseman are always in on the deal. Whatever the news is, whatever the big deal is in the NFL, Howie Roseman's beep, bop, bop. He's on the phone. He's talking to people. What's it going to cost? What's the thing? Okay. Kicking the tires on everything. They do their due diligence on every big story, every big name that becomes available or might be available in the NFL, whether that's Russell Wilson, whether that's Jesse Bates now, whatever it might be. Howie Roseman's doing his due diligence. So when Howie said, I don't think I'm ever content with our roster, that means that she's always looking to improve, in other words. Now, a lot of that could be GM speak, so they don't seem like, what's the GM going to say? I think I'm done. I've assembled the perfect roster. Nobody can hold a candle to what I've put together on paper. Now it's up to the coaches and the players to go do what they're supposed to do. No, he's not going to say that. But I do find it interesting when it's directed at the safety position, which is right now being looked at as the weakest link on this team. Howie's like, yeah, well, we can always look for more improvement. And they might. They also might not. But at least the due diligence is there. At least they realize maybe we can do a little bit better at this particular spot, considering we made upgrades pretty much in every position on the field. So that was interesting from Howie Roseman yesterday. The other thing was Nick Sirianni in his T-shirt. By now you've seen his T-shirt. It's a Jalen Hurts T-shirt. I didn't see it originally. I was just watching the press conference. The microphone was in front of it. I was like, is that Jalen Hurts? He's wearing a Jalen Hurts. Is that Jalen Hurts or is that MC Hammer? Because those glasses, man, those early 90s glasses, they kind of throw me off. It's like maybe the MC Hammer, the Bash Brothers rock those glasses as well, the wraparounds and the weird like tie-dye kind of vibe going off on him. And he's wearing that shirt with the glasses on Jalen Hurts. And he gets asked about the shirt. Why are you wearing that shirt, basically? And I think it was John Clark that asked him a question about the shirt. And he said it's not to send a message. It's not to particularly back their quarterback. It's not to say to anyone, all right, first day of camp, I'm going to wear this shirt because everyone's doubting Jalen Hurts. I want to make sure everyone knows that he's our guy. According to Nick Sirianni, and I don't believe him, by the way, but this is what he said. He said he's got the shirt on simply because it was one that he liked and it was clean. So it's the old, hey, Tom, why'd you wear that shirt today? Hey, it was on top of it was the first one on the dresser. First one on the dresser. I just grabbed. I know it's silly. It's ridiculous. It's a wolf howling at the moon, and it's kind of 3D. I didn't want to wear this shirt. It was just the top one on the folded clothes in my drawer. Hey, what are you gonna do? That's what he gave us yesterday. BS. I like Nick Sirianni. I am amused by him. I think he's a good coach. I thought he got through some adversity last year. I thought he made a major change to his game plan when it got to from passing the football way too damn much to then just taking over the league by running the football as far as rushing stats go, taking over the league. So I think he made a big change. I think that's a huge sign that a coach can grow and improve upon his mistakes and not just be stuck in his ways. Like, no, we're going to come in here, we're going to pass, this is what we're going to do. This is what I know, and no matter what, this is what we're going to do. Flexibility and versatility and open-mindedness, I think, is a very good quality to have as an NFL head coach. And Nick Sirianni certainly possesses that. But I don't believe you, Nick. There's no doubt in my mind sending a message that this is our guy. And even if you didn't intend to do it, even if like a week ago you're like, you know what I'm going to do on the first day of camp? I'm going to wear a Jalen Hurts shirt. Like, even if you didn't do that, even if it was, you went through the laundry and you open your drawer or whatever, that's the first shirt. Yeah, you knew what was going to happen when you wore that. People were going to look at it as a big endorsement of your quarterback. Now, look, I don't know too many people. I don't know anyone that's saying Gardner Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback. He's going to beat out Jalen Hurts in camp. Yeah, no, that's not happening. But I do know other people that are just like giving up on Jalen Hurts already. He ain't the guy. Like, I hear it all the time, and my response to it is always, so he ain't the guy. So who is the guy? So what do you want the Eagles to cut Jalen Hurts? You want them to trade Jalen Hurts? You want to Gardner Minshew to start? Like, what happened last year to convince you, a team making it to the playoffs with a first-year starting quarterback, only had 4 starts under his belt, makes it to the playoffs, gets bounced out against the reigning Super Bowl champion, and by the way, the greatest quarterback ever, and a pretty damn good defensive coordinator in Todd Bowles. That's what you're hanging your hat on? That he sucks? That he can't be the guy? I don't know that he can't be the guy. I am more confident that he is the guy. And as I told you yesterday, I think when it's all said and done after this season, Jalen Hurts will have a 3rd year at least as a starting quarterback with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think that this is it for Jalen Hurts this upcoming season. I think with his work ethic, I think what they put around him, I think Nick Sirianni's familiarity with him, his familiarity now with Jalen Hurts, with the offense that Nick Sirianni's running, I think all those things come together nice for Jalen Hurts, where I don't think he gets the $40 million deal or anything like that, but I do think he is going to get paid after this year, and I think the Eagles are going to look at him and go, oh, yeah, this is it. Because the alternative is you draft another quarterback and then you wait like another 2 or 3 years maybe for that quarterback to actually like get you into the playoffs, and that quarterback to develop, and that quarterback to understand the NFL and all that other stuff. And plus, I don't understand the people that don't want to have the quarterback of the future on their roster already. That never makes sense to me. I would love for Jalen Hurts to be that guy. And I think this year he goes out and he proves it. Prediction, he goes out and he proves it this year. So looking at all this and taking it all in, and Nick Sirianni and everything that he did yesterday, I think that basically what he was doing was just saying, yeah, this is our guy. This is our guy going forward. I'm going to rock this shirt. Show all you guys. Now, as you would assume, a lot of tweets coming out from training camp yesterday about whether or not Jalen Hurts had a good camp or not. The majority of the response and the majority of the reports were that Jalen Hurts had a very good day, first day of camp. There was also good reports about Nakobe Dean out there playing very well, being versatile, being fast, getting to the quarterback for, well, the way you can get to the quarterback when it's a guy wearing a red shirt, which is just kind of tag. And he was doing that yesterday. Jalen Reagor supposedly looked good yesterday. I know he's a guy that a lot of people are concerned with, myself included. I mean, concerned probably isn't even the best word, because I just don't think he's like, I'm not concerned about Jalen Reagor. Like, I don't think about Jalen Reagor. I think about what Jalen Reagor could get the Eagles. And I know we talked about this the other day with Ruben Frank. If Jalen Reagor is going to still be on this team at the start of the season, I wouldn't have a problem at all with him being more in the backfield than he is on the outside. I feel like when we were watching, what was it, against the Lions last year, run jet sweeps, I'm thinking, all right, yeah, sure, it's the Lions, but I don't mind using Jalen Reagor in this fashion. Hey, if you're going to run that play, maybe that's one more hit he's taking, one less hit Kenny Gainwell or Miles Sanders is taking. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Please, more of that. Because the wide receiver spot, I don't think so. Like I said, Geoff Mosher will be along with us in just a minute to talk a little bit more about all things Eagles. And before we get into the Phillies, because Alec Bohm is on a special kind of fire right now. I don't know what it is, but he's on a special kind of fire. We're going to dissect that, including some numbers I'm going to go over with some easy-to-follow numbers with Alec Bohm that are just off the charts after another, 2-for-4 day yesterday, a couple of ribbies as well, and playing the hot corner like nobody's business. Where the hell did that come from? So we'll get into that. But before we go any further, I do want to let you guys hear some stuff from Jalen Hurts yesterday. And one of the things that came out was his second year, being in his second year of this offense. And he made a reference that I hadn't heard him make before. And it's about his dad and high school. Here's Jalen Hurts when he was asked about being in the same offense for the second straight year for the first time in a long time. Jalen Hurts yesterday at practice.
I think it definitely slows down over time. I think it slows down with reps. This is my first time having the same play caller, same coach since my dad in high school when I was like 16, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a big difference. I think I think it's exciting.
First time since his dad was the coach when he was in high school. I think this matters for a young quarterback because you haven't seen it all. You're a veteran quarterback. You go to different – you might say, oh, well, he's got old habits. You got to break those habits. Yeah, but at least he's familiar with the NFL. At least he's not also taking in the NFL and multiple different offenses. Like, that's good. He doesn't have to do that. But for Jalen Hurts, a young quarterback who's trying to, A, learn the league, B, learn that he's going to be the guy after he thought he was going to be a backup for the first couple of years in the NFL behind Carson Wentz, and then also have to change systems. Yeah, that could be a pain in the ass. So when it comes to not recognizing what's in front of him, all the things that I've criticized Jalen Hurts, and I'm certainly not alone in this category, but breaking down what's in front of him, taking him what the defense gives him, all the cliche stuff you can throw out there about pretty much any young quarterback. But if you're changing systems on a guy, maybe your progression isn't exactly in the right order. If this system is asking you to go right first or left first or whatever it might be, not as often as you thought, or go in the middle, or where a guard might be pulling for a running back, or where what kind of pattern or route a wide receiver is running, whatever it might be, whatever system it is that they're trying to install, if you're not knowing that like the back of your hand right away, if that's not second nature to you, then you're playing against two defenses. You're not just playing against people that are trying to get to you or stop your offense in general. You're also your first step is to, what do I have to do? And then doing it, as opposed to reaction. That's where a quarterback has to be in the NFL. And anything that delays that process hurts that quarterback and hurts that offense, obviously. So if it's not second nature to you, and it's only the first year you're doing it, well, then, yeah, you're going to have some problems. Now in the second year of this offense, second year of this head coach, and better pieces around him, and the work he's put in the offseason, then I have every ounce of confidence, belief, faith, whatever you want to call it, that Jalen Hurts will be a much better quarterback than what we saw last year. Much better than a 87 passer rating. Much better than that. And also much better than a bottom tier completion percentage guy as well. Even though completion percentage is one of those stats, it's just like so many other things influence other than just accuracy. It's a pain in the ass. But that's where I'm at with Jalen Hurts going into the season. That's where he is, talking about the second year with Nick Sirianni and the game plan there. Then the other thing, the big story. My good friend Derek Gunn just put out, a couple of weeks ago, we all saw it, the story about Jalen Hurts struggling at practice, throwing interceptions, getting sacked, all that. A.J. Brown came to the defense of his quarterback almost immediately and just flat out said you can't have sacks when you don't even have rushers, which I thought was interesting. Like, I thought you would have people at least getting near the quarterback. Obviously, you weren't going to have sacks. Like, Jalen Hurts isn't getting hit. I even said that on the show for my immediate reaction to it. But what I didn't realize was that A.J. Brown was the one that informed Jalen Hurts of the criticism of the story that was out there. Here is Zach Berman of The Athletic asking the question and Jalen Hurts responding to how he found out about that report that was out there.
A report came out about how you participated in a certain practice. And I called AJ one random day. I called him all the time. We talked. And I said, what you doing? It's in the morning time. I said, what you doing? He said, what did he say? He said, so I'm on Twitter, clapping. He said something. I'm on Twitter, talking, trash, whatever. I said, what happened? He said, they talking crazy. I said, oh, what happened? They talking about you. So okay, what they say? He like some BS, and just left it at that. I didn't even know he did it, to be honest. It was casual to me, but it must have been a slow day.
I always love the must have been a slow day type of thing. Now, again, just to go back to it, my take on it, and I it's different for me because I know these people as humans. Like, Derek Gunn is a friend of mine, and I don't say that to be soft on him by any means. I say that because the guy has integrity. And Derek Gunn is not the type of guy to go, let me ball this piece of crap up and throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Like, he's not like that. He put out there what somebody told him. So my issue was not that Derek Gunn's making up. Oh my God, Derek Gunn making up stuff. No, my issue was that Jalen Hurts had got some kind of enemy in the NovaCare complex that wants to put out a piece of crap story and put it out there. And if Derek Gunn's getting that from a reliable source, maybe they're not being literal in their sack. What do you call it? I don't know, their sack report to Derek Gunn. More on that from Manscaped coming up. Anyway, if maybe they're not being 100% forthright, maybe they're exaggerating a little bit by saying something like that. But if Derek Gunn's getting that from a credible source, he's putting it out there. It's not malice or negligence by Derek Gunn. It's what the hell is that person doing in an NovaCare complex that just wants to throw this against the wall? Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, whoever it might be. I love that that's how it came down, though. I love that Jalen Hurts found out from A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown's reaction in their report to Jalen Hurts on the report was, yeah, man, it's some BS. They're saying this about you, whatever. And I love that Jalen Hurts goes the route of must have been a slow day. Like, if you're talking about practice numbers in general, which we like to do in Philadelphia, then his issue is, man, it was a slow day. We're talking about maybe an off practice I had at OTAs. So there you go. It's always fun. It's always fun. By the way, AJ Brown seems like a good time. Yesterday, he was asked about Nick Sirianni wearing the shirt. He talked about wearing that Hurts season cap that he had coming out of the car yesterday when the Eagles reported the training camp. Here is, and I didn't think anyone would use this word for Nick Sirianni, but boy, it works. And I think it's the perfect way to describe Nick Sirianni. AJ Brown, when asked about the love that is at camp, especially Nick Sirianni wearing a shirt of his player.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm big on showing love, man. I saw the shirt midway through the practice, man. I was like, man, that's lit, man. Your head coach rocking your T-shirt, your brand, man. That's lit, man. And, you know, like, I'm big on showing love, and I showed up in the hat. You know, I want to let everybody know it's Hurt season, you know. And I'm excited for him, the growth, the step, you know. He's working really hard, and I'm going to be right beside him every step of the way.
I hereby decree that Nick Sirianni is no longer Nick Sirianni. He is now Lit Sirianni. When AJ Brown first said that, I was like, lit? This guy lit? And I'm like, that's probably actually the perfect word for Nick Sirianni because he's always lit. He's always, hey, man, do you love ball? Do you love ball? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I love ball. Because sometimes when I have a guy who doesn't love ball, I'm like, I can't have him on my team. But I still love him. I still love him. I love his family. I love his offspring. I love their offspring. I'll never meet him. But I'm just saying, I love him. Like, if that's not lit, I don't know what is lit. 100% Nick Sirianni is lit all the time. Because he loves ball. He loves ball. For the people on the podcast, I was just doing incredibly accurate portrayals of Nick Sirianni's hand gestures and excitement. I think this is going to be a really fun team. I think this team right out of the gate, whether it's Darius Slay doing his Usher impression, I think whether it's A.J. Brown catching touchdowns, catching passes from Jalen Hurts in general, whether it's Nakobe Dean getting after the quarterback, whether it's Brandon Graham having a resurgent season after being injured, whether it's Jordan Davis doing crane kicks, whether it's Fletcher Cox saying that he's going to return to his Pro Bowl form, whatever. This team is going to be fun. I already know that this team is going to – they're already putting out the good vibes. And I think they're going to be, most importantly, a pretty damn good football team this year. I set the bottom line at 11 wins for this team. And I think they're going to win more than that. I think worst case scenario, they win 11 football games this year. I think we're going to be very impressed. And this was before, this isn't camp hype. If anything, it's even less than that. It's off-season hype. Like, I just feel really good about this team. I feel good that there's already a connection between wide receiver and player in both aspects. Between wide receiver and quarterback with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, and then Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. Like, I think that this offense, with this offensive line, has all the makings to be a great team. I think this team, a great offensive unit. I think this defense, with Jonathan Gannon getting very good football players to help run whatever scheme he deems worthy, I think is a very good thing for this football team. And the fact that it's the second year of all these guys, at least offensively speaking, in their respective schemes, I think they're going to have a very, very good year. Plus, Cowboys suck, Giants suck, Commanders suck, Carson Wentz sucks. That's where I'm at. By the way, did you see this story? Just a quick side note here. Ron Rivera apparently had to tell Carson Wentz to, like, chillax for a minute. Like, he was too wound up. Like, dude, just, you're the quarterback we believe in. You just calm the hell down. Basically is how I read the story. It's a cute one. You guys should go back. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. That's pretty much all you need to know. I love when I just glanced out at the comments real quick and I just see that apparently I spray tan. Wait till you see me on Monday, folks. I'm going down the beach after today's show. I'm not much of a beach guy. Like, we didn't really go to the beach when I was a kid. Like, I moved into Philly proper, and like everyone's down the shore. And that's one thing I learned 20 years ago when I like moved into the city proper from the burbs. It's like the city really does empty out. It's like the city just like dumps into Jersey. Just like like Philadelphia just rises on a tilt, on a slant, and everyone just goes down the shore. Yeah, we didn't do that as kids. So I'm going down the beach. I don't really know much about the beach, except there's sand, there's water, and like a boardwalk or something. People get really excited about it, and I'm just like, oh my God, the car I'm going to have to pack. So yeah, I'll be on the beach. So just wait till you see me Monday. I'll get that golden brown look, baby. Drink it in. Anyway, the Philadelphia Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Atlanta Braves. Baseball's fun. You get spanked by the Chicago Cubs, and then you host the defending World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves, and you take 2 of 3 from them. And the game you lose is the one Aaron Nola pitches for you. Okay, baseball's a funny game. But Alec Bohm, it continues his incredible hot streak. Now, we know that right now you're looking at, a 12-game hitting streak for Alec Bohm. Pretty damn good. But here's the numbers. Easy to follow with Alec Bohm. Look at this. In July, the month of July, Alec Bohm is hitting 439, people. In the month of July, he's hitting 439. In the last week, he's hitting 481. 481! Oh, my goodness gracious. And in the last 30 days, he's hitting 415. This kid is incredible. There was one stat, and I'm sorry, here we go. What did I say? Last 7 days, 481? Excuse me, that's the last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 481. This is the thing that blew my mind. In the last 7 days, Alec Bohm is hitting 522. Now, here's a very Philly stat for you, all right? The thing. All right, so he's hitting, let's see here. He's hitting 522 over the last week. But no home runs. Come on, bro. No home runs. What do you do? You got to get some pop from your third baseman. No, in all seriousness. The best thing about this is that it also in July, he's got 12 RBIs, which is nice to see. In July, 439 batting average, 468 on base percentage, 12 RBIs. I'll take that. 12 ribbies. Yes, please, and thank you. Phillies got a great win yesterday. It was a wild game yesterday. Like, it felt like the game didn't have a pulse. And then all of a sudden, he stole some bases. Alec Bohm came up in some clutch situations, got the job done for the Phillies. Like, overall, it was just a very good game for the Phils. And you got exactly what you needed from the Kyle Gibson yesterday. He went in, he put in work after apparently missing some time with apparently after missing some time due to a personal issue. He came back, long tossed yesterday, and got the job done on the hill for the Phillies. And overall, I was just impressed with the aggressiveness on the base paths from the Phillies. Defense also from Alec Bohm at third base. Nick Castellanos continues to struggle. But JT Realmuto also came up huge for you. There was just some good overall play from the Phils in that game. 7-2 victory, by the way. Gibson gave you 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 4 strikeouts. I gave you the numbers there on Alec Bohm. Oh, by the way, Derek Hall also. Another 2-hit game for him, which was nice. But JT Realmuto, I wanted to get you guys this number as well, because I mentioned yesterday the incredible July that he's putting together. He's now up to 339 in the month of July. Here's the thing. In baseball, and you can do this, like the guy that really sticks out to me is Bryson Stott. He might be batting like 193 on the season, but you look at the last month, and like he's a 290 hitter. Like that's great for a guy like him to show you what he could do in this lineup. In baseball, when you look at the overall batting average for a season, like 190, it's almost like you should throw the batting average out like every month. And that's really what you should be looking at, just to see how the guy has been doing in the recent past, because that really gives you a better indication. And it's like that in a lot of sports, especially like 3-point percentage in basketball. A guy could be just go off in a month, shoot 43%, where he's usually a 33% shooter. Like things like that happen all the time. But when you look at a guy like Bryson Stott, for instance, see another hit that he had yesterday. He's batting 195 now on the season. But if you look at what he's been able to do over the last month of the season, that gives you a more accurate portrayal of what he has been bringing to the table here. Like, for instance, 281 over his last 2 weeks. So that, for me, it shows you that is a much better indication of how he has been coming along. And I still think when all is healthy and Gene Segura is back in this lineup, he'll be at second base and Bryson Stott will be your shortstop, your regular everyday shortstop. And Alec Bohm plays the hot corner like he plays yesterday. A lot of good things are going to happen. Phillies bullpen, by the way, continues to be incredible. They had another good outing for themselves yesterday, and that helped them to the victory. Just took care of business after after Kyle Gibson left the game. So Phillies back at it tonight, 7:05 start time. They'll take on the Pirates for 4 in Pittsburgh. If you're not doing anything this weekend and you want to take a little drive and you haven't been to PNC Park yet, you should treat yourself. You should absolutely treat yourself. So that's what the Phillies got going on this weekend, 4-game series with the Pirates, and then they got a 2-game series in Atlanta with the Braves. So more Phillies-Braves baseball. Cardinals did win yesterday, so the Phillies are still a half game out of the wild card in the National League. So that's where Albert Pujols, of all people, hit another home run yesterday, 7th of the season, a 3-run homer in the 6th inning, I want to say, or 5th inning for the Cardinals. That kind of blew the game open for the Cardinals' favor. So that's where we're at right now in life. Let me tell you, before we get to Geoff Mosher about Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Mike Seibert is a retirement income certified professional at Destination Retirement LLC and a proud partner of 1847 Financial and an advisor for Eagles, Sixers, and Phillies fans only, and maybe next year, the Flyers. When it comes to long-term savings, why are you giving up the current enjoyment of your income? The answer is have income streams in retirement, and Mike will help you learn how to do this right. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Is the objective just to go up to the mountain in the top? Nope. You got to get back down the mountain safely. Going up the mountain is your accumulation phase. Going down the mountain is your distribution phase. Those are the 2 different phases of your financial life. And Mike will show you how to approach both specifically. Mike will show you an efficient way to help pay for your kids' college education and also retire on your own terms. Your first step is to avoid starting your growth cycle over by not depleting accounts like 529s for big expenses like college. You don't want to lose your position on your growth cycle and have to start over. Let Mike help you get on track for retirement. And you can learn how your annual retirement savings can help your college savings and how your college savings will help your annual retirement savings. Mike will set up your own portal in Retirement Analyzer, then use the software to help you navigate through the different phases of your financial life. For questions or to set up a meeting with Mike, you can email him at gobirds@1847financial.com or call his office at 484-275-6035. You can also visit his website at destinationretirement.com. And as always, go Birds, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go Phillies. How about Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut right there on Jewelers Row. Steven Singer has been in the love business in Philadelphia for over 40 years. And for Steven, he just wants to give you the perfect price, ladies and gentlemen. When you go to other jewelers, they like to mark things way up just to mark it down a little bit in front of you and make you feel like you've won. You haven't. They still make out like bandits. But Steven takes care of everyone because he treats everyone like family. And a real jewelry expert is standing by at the ready to show you through all their beautiful, dazzling diamond inventory. Oh, it's gorgeous. Diamond tennis bracelets, diamond engagement rings. I tell you all the time, I just sent a friend of mine there. He got engaged. Steven Singer is the way to go because Steven Singer loves to take care of Philadelphia because Steven considers himself to be a man, not in the diamond business, not in the jewelry business, but a man in the love business. So do what I do. Go to Steven Singer Jewelers at the other corner of 8th and Walnut or online at I Hate Steven Singer. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free. Always fast and free shipping at I Hate Steven Singer. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, the perfect price every day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Without further ado, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line. Talk to our friend Geoff Mosher from Inside the Birds podcast. Joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line from Inside the Birds. I don't want to just say podcast and sell it short. Inside the Birds Empire, Mr.
Sounds
Geoff
good to me.
Mosher.
I think you're selling us a little short, but that's okay.
No, geez. World domination inside the Birds. Geoff Mosher.
Getting warmer.
Getting warmer? Better, closer, warmer. Getting there.
I like it.
Moshe, let me ask you this. Have you ever worn a T-shirt that has Adam Kaplan's face on it? Has that ever happened?
No. Lingerie, maybe, but not a T-shirt. Is that a good start to the show?
That's how you started off, man. I appropriately compliment you. Go your partner in lingerie and not your wife, your broadcast partner. And you know what? That's cool. That's good that you're close. No, that is amazing. I don't need to buy that shirt, but if you need your Inside the Birds podcast, Inside the Birds Empire paraphernalia, I'm sure it's available at InsideTheBirds.com. All right. Nick Sirianni says today, wow, I'm going to lose sleep thinking of that image. Nick
My work
Sirianni.
is done here.
This is all staying in. This is not getting edited. So Nick Sirianni wears the Jalen Hurts shirt today. Like, he knows what he's doing, right? Like, he said laundry. It was one of the clean shirts that he liked, and that's what he wore. That's got to be an endorsement of his quarterback, despite some doubters still out there, no?
I mean, of course it's an endorsement. He endorses all of his players. You know, I imagine that his closet is sort of like this is a very loose analogy, so I hope people don't like think I'm you know, the old show with Pee Wee Herman in it where he would dress up in the tuxedo and the red bow tie. He would go into his closet and there would just be like 700 of those same gray suits with red bow ties, right? So I imagine Nick Sirianni, it's like the Mr. Rogers thing too. I imagine Nick Sirianni's like laundry basket gets dumped on his bed and it's just t-shirts with his players on it, like cartoon images of his players on it, because that's what he does. That's what he wears. That's his thing.
Hey, you know what? Makes sense to me. So we got a lingerie reference. We got a Pee Wee Herman reference. Well, we're just going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going, baby. So let me just say this. So what day one of camp in the books? I know we make a big deal about all of this, but just where are you at? Because last time we talked to you, we're in the middle of the offseason. Now we're at the end of the offseason. Training camp has got underway. Where are you at right now in the evaluation process of Jalen Hurts?
I'm thinking Hall of Fame and wondering if he might be the greatest quarterback ever. After one practice, of course. Now,
of course, naturally.
Now, you know, Mark, we could do a whole entire show, not that you want to, but on just even when training camp was like real, how difficult it really is to make long-term conclusions on lots of things. It's not hard to evaluate players, I think, at training camp. Obviously, the coaches do it every day, but you're evaluating certain players like quarterback, right, under certain conditions that are not what you see in an NFL game. So if they're not in pads and they're not doing 11-on-11s and the day one is mostly 7-on-7s and there's no pass rush to distort Jalen Hurts. And, you know, they only did red zone stuff really in team drills on first day anyway. So, you know, I'm not going to be the guy who does that. I mean, I'm sure people will chart it and certain people will make really long-term conclusions. I don't. It's day one. They work on certain things, and training camp now is so different than the training camp when I started covering the team when it was in Lehigh, which, by the way, the older guys would tell me was so different when there were 7 preseason games and there were like 3 practices a day for 8 weeks. You know, it was like they were telling us that the Lehigh days were soft. So now what do you think those of us who've been through Lehigh think of this training camp now? And now, look, I know there's a method to the madness, right? There's a reason, but like I look and see Wednesday is the start of training camp and Thursday is a walkthrough day, a closed to media walkthrough day. And hear Nick Sirianni say, well, that's because training camp started Tuesday with a conditioning test. And so we don't do 3 straight days of work. And I think, wow, that's really incredible. Like how far things have come since those days.
Gotcha. So look, bottom line is whatever we feel about Jalen Hurts, and my gut feeling going into this is that he will again be the Eagles starting quarterback next year. I think that is going to happen again. Are you close to that, or are you 100% have to wait and see what the season is? But bottom line is, what's your gut telling you going into the year?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not close to he's not, or I'm as close to he's not as I am to he is. I mean, because honestly, last year was his first year with not such a great team. Good team, not great, right? You know, even with making the playoffs, they've built around him. But they did have the flirtations with the top name quarterbacks in the offseason. They just were not able to get anybody to flirt back, kind of like me in high school. But now they've built up the team around him. But remember, they've got assets for next year. So, you know, I think that a lot of people just naturally assume, hey, they won 9 games last year, got better, they should win 10, 11, 12. And I do think they have 10 to 12 win talent. But we also know that in the NFL, it's never linear like that. It's very rare. Some teams, yes, but it doesn't just happen that way, or else the 2020 Eagles wouldn't have won 4 games. They would have won 13 or 14, right? So, and we know that's not the case. So obviously, Jalen has to be a really good quarterback this year for the Eagles to then want to, I would think, give him the money, the contract extension. that you would normally give a quarterback after 3 years. So, I mean, can he do it? Yes. Does he have a good shot to do it? Yes. Am I convinced he's going to? I'm not convinced of anything of anybody. So it's not just a Jalen Hurts thing. I'm just, it's still a new coaching staff for me. Still a lot of new players. Sometimes guys have great years and then regress. Sometimes guys have bad years and come back. So we'll see.
We're talking with Geoff Mosher, of course, Inside the Birds podcast. The latest episode drops. It's probably already dropped by the time that we air this, being that you and I are recording this Wednesday night. So you and Adam Kaplan have your latest podcast out already. Look, Jalen Hurts is going to be the starting quarterback of the Eagles week 1. From now to week 1, what do you think training camp will decide? What is the hot position battle right now? Who is really going to be slugging it out on this Eagles team?
Yeah, so there are some position battles that are important, but they're not the sexiest thing in the world. Isaac Seumalo is going to come back from his injury and play right guard. I don't think he's going to be challenged much, but they do like Jack Driscoll. So we'll have to see if Jack can kind of push Seumalo out of that job. And if he does, you're probably pushing Seumalo off the team because $5.5 million is too much to pay a backup lineman. On the offense, though, I think wide receiver, that slot interior wide receiver is a really interesting scenario that features multiple people. Quez Watkins will obviously get a look there, and we'll have to see if his skill set really is meant for the slot, which is you can be a vertical slot. You can stretch the field from that like Nelson Aguilar used to do in 2017 especially. But it's also a position where you do a lot of run blocking. If you're running out of 11 personnel, that's not really his thing. Zach Pascal, big, strong guy, teacher's pet. He should get some opportunities there. Jalen Reagor, kind of elephant in the room. I mean, he's still on the team right now. He had a really good OTAs from everything we had heard, very focused, came into camp, not only as a receiver, but as a returner as well. So he's got a lot to prove this camp. Greg Ward, Britton Covey, the undrafted free agent. So there's going to be a lot of different guys in and out, and we'll just have to see who is really the best for that position.
Mm-hmm. While you mentioned Jalen Reagor, kind of one of my topics I've been kicking around this week is if whether or not he makes it to the opening day roster for the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think he will be on the roster come week 1?
Yeah, it's a great question because it's like I know teams have called on him, and I know Howie, of course, is answering the phone, so I know discussions have been had, but the Eagles want to see him succeed. Obviously, he's a first-round pick, and they could use a bona fide slot receiver where I think Jalen could flourish. So without me knowing what somebody's willing to give up for Jalen Reagor, it's hard for me to say yes or no. I mean, if the best offer the Eagles get is, I don't know, like a 6 or a conditional 5 or something, you could see them waiting it out and hanging on for a little bit to see what they've got in camp. If somebody wants to really offer something that's of significance, I would think that the Eagles would be more prone to say, all right, we have to really consider that offer.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there any way that they cut him or release him, or do you think they still try to get what they can?
No, they will not cut him or release him. No.
Fair enough. Looking at this roster right now, I know we mentioned 2011 and the Dream Team and all that stuff, and Miles Sanders comes into this season having said all-star, it's like an all-star team, all that. Just on paper, we're only looking at paper, and of course that doesn't matter nearly as much as what Doug Peterson used to say is on the grass, right? But how talented is this team compared to other teams you have covered in the past?
It's a great question. I think it's a really deep 53. I thought the 2018 team was actually deeper and better than the 2017 roster. Obviously they didn't have great health and things didn't break their way, but you remember how deep they went on the D line because they were deep on the D line and when they won the Super Bowl, and then they brought in Michael Bennett. Now they lost Vinny Curry, but they brought in Michael Bennett, who's a Pro Bowler, and they brought back Chris Long. So they had a lot of good players there. I think this team has really good depth. I would say they have the best 53. I think they can make an argument in the NFC East. The thing is, you only play 22 at one time. So do they have the best 22? Usually that doesn't matter. You'd rather have the best 53 because every team goes through injuries. Mm-hmm. So I do like their 53. I mean, obviously they're not – safety is a sore spot. But if you go back to 17 and 18, cornerback was a sore spot. And they still were deep and talented. But offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver to a point, some good tight end play. We'll see with Calcaterra if he can play a little bit. But linebacker – they're deeper there and more talented than they've been in 3 or 4 years. and certainly a corner to have two guys like Bradbury and Slay is pretty good. So they have good depth. I like this roster. I really do. But I always say, like, if you're comparing 53s, right, sometimes the team may not have as good of a 53, but if they've got the best head coach, best defensive coordinator, or best quarterback, they're probably going to be better than your 53, even though if they're not as superior from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm. Howie Roseman likes to make moves around this time of year in training camp, likes to make that one last move, that little adjustment, whatever it might be, sometimes big addition it turns out to be. Howie was asked about his depth at the safety position today during his press conference along with Nick Sirianni, and he said, I don't think I've ever looked at a roster and felt content. So Howie might have an itchy trade finger in the not-too-distant future here. Do you think he's done, and do you think he's still going to add a safety to this bunch?
I don't think he'll wind up adding a safety. I think it's more likely he'd wind up adding a running back, like a bigger power running back to complement Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, to kind of give you what Jordan Howard gave them last year, who, by the way, is still a free agent. Mm-hmm. And there are some other big backs there as well. So that would be the area I think that they would look to upgrade. But, I mean, as far as safety, I mean, they like Epps. I think they've said it 1,000 times. I don't think they're lying about it. And they brought in Jaquiski Tart, who, when healthy, has been a good player to compete there with Anthony Harris, although I'm sure Harris will start. They still have Kevon Wallace, got Sashere and Maiden. Like, I don't know what safety is available. And I know everybody's like, you idiot, Jesse Bates. I said available.
you moron.
Right. And remember, if you trade for Jesse Bates, I think the deadline has passed for you to be able to give him an extension. He has to play on the franchise tag. So if you bring in Jesse Bates, you got to do a whole lot of maneuvering to be able to afford him for the year. And then he's got all the leverage in the world to say, well, now you have to like resign, make me the highest paid safety, or else I'll just walk and look at all that stuff you did just to bring me in. So it's not a great position of leverage for the Eagles to try to go get Jesse Bates.
All right, fair enough. Geoff Mosher, I wish you nothing but success when it comes to recording your actual podcast later tonight at the time we tape this. And, of course, you and Adam with your T-shirts and whatever else it is you guys do on Inside the Birds Empire. I wish you nothing but, joy, my friend.
We appreciate that. Now, can we get a Mark Farzetta T-shirt? Or lingerie, either one.
Yeah, we have corsets exclusively at FarzyShow.com. Corsets galore, my friend. Enjoy yourself.
I'll take it.
The great Geoff Mosher joining us. Make sure you guys check him out, of course, not just with Inside the Birds, Inside the Birds podcast and Empire. Also, make sure you're following on social media as well, especially Twitter, where he has all the knowledge that he likes to drop right there. Moshe, thanks so much for joining us on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, my friend.
You got it, brother. Have a good one.
You as well. Geoff Mosher joining us right there from Inside the Birds podcast. Adam Kaplan in lingerie. That will haunt my dreams. That will haunt my dreams. I'll be having like nice dreams about like me playing center field for the Phillies. Pretty much the same recurring dream I've had since I was little. And then all of a sudden be like, hey, Mark, you want to talk football? Ah, Adam, what are you doing here? Ah. I look, I happen to know the same people that put together that show. I think we need a T-shirt with Adam Kaplan in lingerie. Like if the Eagles offense really does take off and they're amazing, the only thing sexier than this Eagles offense is Adam Kaplan in lingerie. Pots and pans. The best is Adam might not know about that. I hope Geoff mentions it to him. You'll have to listen to Inside the Birds podcast, which is out right now, as a matter of fact. So you'll have to give that a listen and just see if Geoff happens to mention that he wants to see his friend in lingerie. I don't know. Maybe want is too strong a word. Maybe want is too strong a word. Yee. How about the great people of Rothman Orthopedics? Remember the old you? Remember the one who didn't have to put up with a fickle knee, a finicky hip, or a shoulder that no longer does what a shoulder should do? Well, how about the Rothman approach to orthopedics? Rothman Orthopedics here to get you back to being you, back to running, walking, working, playing, back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments available, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers at RothmanOrtho.com. How about a Manscaped, everybody? Fellas, you want to look good everywhere, right? Well, how'd you like to look good everywhere at a fraction of the cost? Right now, 20% off, Manscaped.com. Use promo code Farzy at checkout at manscaped.com for 20% off your order. Like, for instance, their incredible Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer and their Platinum Package 4.0, which includes a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, a Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and it all comes with skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks, so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Plus, the Ultra Premium Body Wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, deodorant, Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Ball Spray Toner, Anti-Chafing Boxers, and, of course, the Shed Travel Bag to hold all the goods that you'll be using to take care of Manscaped your goods. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming. Now you can trust them with the whole shebang. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Farzy. That's promo code Farzy. How about Freestone Farm CBD? FreestoneFarmCBD.com. You'll absolutely love it. I'm sure you've tried a lot of different CBD brands, but honestly, Freestone Farm CBD is the best. It's great after working out. It's great after when you're trying to fall asleep. Freestone Farm CBD, FreestoneFarmCBD.com, and you'll feel relaxed and lull yourself to sleep. The menu is something you'll absolutely have to check out, with strains like their insane tropical tasting Bayox that clocks into the chart-topping 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush. You know what? That one wasn't a clean one because I got the microphone. Hold on. Take two. The clocks that chart at the top of 21%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush. That was better. And 21%. The genetics of these guys don't get any better. They also grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all their organic inputs and IPM, so there's nothing synthetic from farm to jar. Their harvest, also, listen to this, after harvest, they carefully preserve all the plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure, like a nice soprasata. Just one look or smell is enough to let you know it's CBD done right. And that's the perfect product for anyone looking to take a more natural approach to everything they're putting in their bodies. And how about this? 20% off at checkout when you use promo code Farzy. 20% off, promo code Farzy, right there at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. How about Blue Chew? Fellas, if you have an issue, check out Blue Chew. By now, you've heard of Blue Chew. Fellas, go to BlueChew.com and also use promo code Farzy, and you can receive the first month free when you use promo code Farzy. You will receive the first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men combat all different forms of ED. And again, Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so there's no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no embarrassing conversations overheard at the pharmacy. Blue Chew ships right to your home in a discreet package. Blue Chew process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days, and it's all done online. Discreet. Again, discreet. Also, Blue Chew's licensed medical providers will also find you the right ingredient and strength of your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable, so it's not just a clever name. Blue Chew's tablets are made right here in the good old US of A. And they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. Once again, you can use this special deal for our listeners and our viewers. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Farzy and check out, and just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Farzy, all one word, to receive your first month free at BlueChew.com. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience? Also, back on the Versus Game app, ladies and gentlemen. Download the Versus Game app to your phone. Follow at Farzy Show and answer one of our latest questions. Simple yes or no. Will Juan Soto get traded by the 6 p.m. August 2nd trade deadline? Will Juan Soto get traded by then? Yes or no? Answer on the Versus Game app and have yourself a good time. Let's jump into the chat check. I see the chat just bumping today, folks. It's bumping today. Really bumping today. What's going on, April? Hello, April. Kevin, what's going on? Mullet Yokinawa SOB. How you been? Nice to see you. Mike Fuji, what's going on, Fuji? Sean, what's going on, Sean? How are you? April. So out of all the shirts he had, that's the only clean one he had. Speaking of, that's a Nick Sirianni character. Sorry, that's Lit Sirianni. We're talking about wearing the Jalen Hurts t-shirt. We've all been there. I mean, you guys have watched the show enough now. For the people watching the show, you guys have watched the show enough to realize that I have like 8 shirts that I just kind of put on heavy rotation for this. And some people are like, you should wear a t-shirt. And I'm like, I might eventually wear a t-shirt on the show. I just feel like if you guys see me in my dress down clothes, and I'll refer to them as dress down clothes because I went to Catholic school and that's what we called it when we were out of uniform. For those that don't know, in Catholic school or private school in general, you'll have an occasional dress down day, like maybe 3 or 4 a year. And you pay a quarter. Well, in my day, you paid a quarter. Wow, that makes me feel really old. Because now it's probably like $1. But like I was paying a quarter when at the same time that my grandfather was telling me in his day, for a cup of coffee, it cost you a quarter. How much was it to dress down? 2 bits, pops. 2 bits. Anyway, I just wow, I'm blacking out for a second now in my mind. All right, so you give the quarter and you wear your own clothes. That'd be your dress down day. So that's why I would refer to it as my dress down clothes. Wow, my friends are really gonna have a field day with that one. So yeah, I thought you were referring to my clothes, but even if I did, like that was one of the great things about Catholic schools. Like you didn't have to worry about what you were wearing. That was awesome. And I've been to both. And I think I've told you guys, I feel like we just recently had this conversation. Like I always felt bad because I knew there was always one girl that always wore a new dress and there was one girl that didn't. Let's just say that. Most didn't. And I just felt like that wasn't right for the kids. I don't know. Even in 4th grade, I was thinking about that. Speaking of shirts, dark shirt today, Mark? Training camp? I don't know why. I just felt like I've been really heavy on the blues lately. So I just went with the gray today. This is the one that I really debate that whether or not I got to put that together. There you go. Is that better? Is that better for the kids? Less of the plunging neckline? No, PJ? There we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, that was a lot of that. All right. Are the bots back in the chat with the nakedness? Because I think that's why I just did that. All right. Anyway. Good morning, Mally. How are you? Dan Schwartz. Good morning, everyone. Or as Pinky would say, Pinky? Narf. Kev, what's up? Sean, how are you? Dan, hello again. April, saying hello to everyone. This is nice. Eric Gallagher, what's up, buddy? Dan Schwartz. So if you're playing against 2 defenses, you really need to focus on double penetration. Daniel, if Jalen Hurts has to think about what he's doing, you're defending against yourself, and then you're defending against the defense. So that's the problem. You can't have that. Dan, couldn't help myself. Let's see what else we got here. Sean, hello, good morning. Mullet makeout party. Check the Monday morning sack report. Wow. Yeah, Adam Schefter. I forget how we got on the subject, but I think we were talking about something with something you remember from your childhood. And I asked Adam Schefter, and he said makeout parties in 5th grade. And I was like, damn, son. Shefty. Getting it. In 5th grade. That special cappuccino makes Farzy lit. Sean, come on. I don't drink cappuccino as much. I drink espresso. This is my espresso cup from this morning. Still see the remnants. Can you see the remnants? That's the remnants. Ooh, there's a little bit in there. Scusi. I'm not kidding you guys. Little Toots turns 3 in like 10 days. And Lil Toots will see my espresso sitting on the end table on our sofa, by our sofa, and she will knock it back. And then she goes to school. And I'm like, oh, good luck with that one, teachers. All right. Was my pinky up? I usually don't have my pinky up because I'm not French. But anyway. T-Bro, what's up, T-Bro? Lit. Sirianni. Lit. There you go. I'm just reading as T-Bro wrote it. There you go. Dan Schwartz, taking Blue Chew, watching Alec Bohm, killing it, giving you a big fat Bomer. Come on, Daniel. You're going blue. All right, whatever. Love Wildwood boards, man. Nothing like it in the world. Really, the Wildwood Boardwalk? I will say this. As a non-beach kid who has turned into somewhat of a beach man, I love Wildwood. I love that your beaches are vast. Like I don't like there's water at the end of this, right? Like I can't see it, but there's an ocean once I get through this desert, right? Like you guys don't have beaches, you guys have deserts. And they're free, which I also enjoy. Mullet, balm lip reading. I love Manscaped. There you go. Wait, why do I see a Scott Kingery reference? PJ, I opened my phone and on the news panel, there was an article. Is Scott Kingery the answer at shortstop for the Phillies? I put my phone back down a bit. Oh, wow. SI, surprisingly. Pots and pans. Just because he's been a hot streak in AAA. Oh, has Kingery been lighting it up in AAA recently? Last I looked, he was only hitting like 241. All right, good for him. Oh, this is where the naked bots come in, and they offer to find us a girl. And I said, how about we just find us a center fielder? Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Damn, this show's popular now. You're seeing the bots. There you go. April. Man, I went to get a shower, and I missed the bots. April. This is just the one. Sean Gillespie, this show just went to an uncomfortable place again. All right, this is April. Manscaped. Make your junk look bigger. There you go. We're in that dark place again. Mark having an existential crisis live. Don't miss it. Mark, you said narf perfectly. See, when I think it was it Scarf? Like what was the cat's name? The actual cat in Thundercats. Lion-O was the main guy. And then they had, was it Snarf? I want to say it was Snarf. Snarf? Snarf! That was the cat. By the way, I knew I wanted to do something voice related when I was a kid, when I first heard the outtakes of Thundercats. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing, the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. My brother played it for me, and I was dying. Yeah, Sean Gillespie. Snarf! Definitely. April, Wildwood is where we went for the after prom or senior week. Those were interesting times. Wow, senior week. I haven't thought about senior week in forever. April, great pull. It is. I will say this. Like, I just said Little Toad's going to be 3 in like 10 days. Leo is already 6 months. And it's like, it really is true. When you have kids, it's like, you have no concept of your life before kids. Like you have memories that you think weren't dreams. You're pretty sure they actually happened. But the kids just come in and they're like a mind eraser. Children are like Men in Black. They come up to you with a mind eraser and they're just, can you look right at this thing? Boop. And then it's like, I was in high school once, I think. What? But yeah, wow. The down the shore trip post prom and senior. We're going for senior week. Oh, we'll be in Seattle. Oh, you guys are going to Seattle? Oh my God, I heard they do vodka shots in their eyeballs at senior week. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing. And it's like, where are you going? Ocean City. Oh, so they got smuggle in the booze? Is that how it works? Like, and it's like you're 18. You're not going to a bar anyway, unless you have the world's greatest fake ID. I mean, I pretty much looked 40 when I was 17. So that wasn't really a problem for me. Most of us don't remember senior week. April, you're so right. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome as per usual. Let's move on into the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motor Cars, SkyMotorCars.com. Couple of things to rush into here, ladies and gentlemen. First is this little nugget from the friends at our social media team. Andrew Benintendi traded yesterday, going to the, of all teams, the New York Yankees, as if they needed him. So there you go. He's only got 3 home runs this season, but he's hitting 320. He's got 20 home run type power. He's done that before in his career. Last year, he missed, I think, 25 games, and he's still at 17 home runs. But he's a good outfielder. I don't know where he would have fit on the Phillies. Some say center field. It's been a minute really since he's played that position, if he really ever has for a long term. So the Phillies are in the market for a center fielder. They're not in the market for Andrew Benintendi as much as I'd like to have him on this team because he's a hell of a hitter. not happening, but the Yankees were able to get him yesterday. Also, it's officially official, folks. And I feel like we've celebrated this 3 different times. Sham Charania. James Harden is taking a $15 million pay cut. Adrian Wojnarowski. James Harden is going to sign a 2-year deal with the 76ers, option for that second year. 34 million. And then yesterday, the Sixers make it officially official. Daryl Morey tweets out with the Sixers, puts out this story, or this photo rather, of James Harden signing his contract at some resort, maybe? I don't know where that is. I don't know. Maybe that's the Sixers practice facility. I don't know. But it's now officially official. James Harden is a 76er yet again. So welcome back to the pack, James Harden. You know, I'm really excited about it. Kind of makes me want to sing.
You're right here. See that? They're coming to you.
Oh!
Oh, it's me like I'm doing my Usher song.
I'm rolling. Well, I mean, my life is up, so I don't know if they
I'll stop hating on you, man.
Oh, it's just so damn good. It's so damn good. I'll be using that. I'll condense that, and we'll use that as a drop for later in the show. Wow, April, you're really getting me in the Wayback Machine here. Fake IDs at Franklin Mills Mall. What is it now? The Philadelphia Outlet or at Franklin Mills or something weird like that. Anyway, yeah, that's great. That's what I got for you. Oh, I don't have this picture. I thought I loaded it up. I didn't load it up. If you haven't done it already, folks, Google Jimmy Butler hair. And Jimmy Butler apparently got extensions. So you don't want to miss that. Whatever. So Harden signs. Andrew Benintendi is out. Phillies, let's see if they make a move over the weekend. They got the 4-game series with the Pirates and the 2-game series with Atlanta. In Atlanta, so those Phillies are going to be on the road for a minute here. 6 games. The next 6 games are going to be on the road. Tonight, 7:05 start time in Pittsburgh. Zach Wheeler back on the bump for the Phillies, 8-5 in the season with a 2.78 ERA, 114 strikeouts and 106 innings. Zach Thompson goes for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is 3-7 with a 4.64 ERA. So we know that only means one thing. Phillies will get no hit tonight to start out this 4-game set for the big boy Zach Thompson, who runs at 6'7". So he's pretty huge. By the way, I figured out what you guys were talking about with how I look a little darker than normal, a little bronze. A light went out in the studio that I have yet to replace. So I got to fix that. And I will do that. Thanks, everyone who watched. You guys are fantastic as per usual. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Tomorrow, I'll have some fresh content for you, despite me being down the beach, down the shore. Excuse me. Dominic Brown joins the show. Now, Dom Brown and I spoke Monday morning. And with training camp stuff going on, I wanted to hold on to it. So Friday, tomorrow, we're going to have a brand new interview with Dominic Brown. And I'll tell you this. Dominic Brown talks about a very interesting story from Charlie Manuel. He talks about that incredible 40-game stretch he had and why it didn't last. And there's a name that he mentions that I forgot existed. Like, I forgot he was a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. He talks about that. He talks about what he would tell the young guys on this team right now. And he covers it all really in his career, including what he's doing right now, working with the Tri-State Arsenal, which is a baseball organization where he's got about 7 teams with, and he's coaching up young guys, trying to get them ready for the big leagues and achieve their baseball dreams. So that's what Dominic Brown's doing. I got to tell you this. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. with Dominic Brown. But the 39 games, being more accurate, 39 games where he had 17 home runs is an incredible stretch, a historic stretch. Hit 324, and hit a home run every 8.8 at bats. That's pretty damn good. Dominic Brown talks about that, talks about his struggles, why he couldn't keep it going, what his problem was, basically. And I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. So that'll come to you guys tomorrow morning. I'll make sure you guys have some fresh content along with it as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Hopefully after a couple more Phillies wins. Hopefully the Phillies jump into the wild card occupy the final wild card spot, and we get nothing but good news out of training camp. Jim Hyden produced the program, did a wonderful job. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. My name is Mark Farzetta for the Farzy Show from the Steven Singer Studio, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you later.